Abby's got to go for charging phone now. What is going on?
Dude, we're live, Chris.
Hey, we're live.
Is like, charge your phone, don't at me.
I can never tell when we're live.
Well, just wait for my cue, you fucking are out.
What a way to start the show.
I'm not going 9, 8, 7, and then you're talking about the charger. So, oh my god. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Sorry about that. It's a charger night.
How are you, boys? How you going?
Good, man.
Good, boys. Don't have me get a charger. Charge up before you start.
That's it. Guys, welcome to the AFL podcast. Johnny G, King of the North. How are you guys?
The King of the
Very
North.
well, very well.
So there's rumours going around that Johnny G is the new Jimmy T. Doesn't rock up to watch alongs. What's going on, Johnny G? You hanging out Jimmy T too long?
Well, I worked all weekend, so it was one of those weekends where, yeah.
We thought you were having secret meetings with Jimmy T. Yeah.
me and Jimmy have started a new podcast that never happens.
That's what we think. Yeah. So
the podcast is that it never happens.
Never goes to air.
Yeah. So guys, welcome to the show. I've got some music playing through the video just to maybe change it up a little bit. But we'll turn it off soon. Yeah, some music. Guys, I've got a big announcement to make before we go into it. Due to we're just changing up the way we call the AFL show. We're going to be actually calling it the HFD Footy podcast instead of the HFD Afl podcast moving forward. Tonight it's still the AFL podcast for one more time. So next week you will see a different logo, but I do have the logo up and ready so I can show everyone. Let me know what you guys think of it, and we're going to go forward with that. It's just because of copyright issues and stuff like that, so we don't want to get in trouble using AFL. Yeah, when you go,
you're not allowed to use it
anymore. Well, when you go for monetization and stuff, they don't really like that kind of stuff. So it's better to be original than to, just in case, I'm not sure, but yeah, just you got to be careful with what you put out there. So this is the new logo, guys. Let us know if you like it. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. But that's the new logo there, guys. HFD Footy podcast.
Right, let's have a look.
It's got the footy. It's got our logo. It's got the podcast. It's pretty simple. It's very simple, very nice. So if you do like it,
that's very cool.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so that's going to be the new. All
right, give Chris a 10 out of 10 for that one. Far out. That's awesome.
Yeah. So that's going to be the new logo. So moving forward, we'll just use the old one for tonight, but we will be called the HFD Footy Podcast, guys. So yeah.
Nice. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
right.
Can you just Dan's probably got the classic of the night so far. Can you just put the link in the bio in the chat for Jimmy T's podcast, please?
Yeah. Can't believe he remembers Jimmy.
I know. He was once around, but not anymore.
www.jimmyismissingpodcast.com. There you go, guys. Go check him out down there.
There we go. Beautiful. Jimmy is missing podcast.com.
Anyway, guys, but guys, welcome in the chat. As I said before, if you're brand new to the chat, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and also, guys, check out our merch. hfdmerch.myspreadshop.com.au. Get all your jumpers, everything in there that's HFD. Helps us out, guys. Go check it out. Description is below. The link is in the description below, guys. So check it out. Guys, what a weekend of footy it was. There was some crazy games. There was some boring games. There was some. It had it all, didn't it? It really had it all. And
it had it all.
Who do you want to start off with today?
I think we've got to start off with Carlton. We really have to start off.
I think we just throw Carlton under the bus. Let's do it.
All right. Well, we did the watch along. Me and the King did the watch along for this one.
Jimmy T's in the chat.
Oh my God.
What's going on here?
He's live from his podcast, guys. It was Carlton, six goals, 16, 52 to Bombers, 13 goals, 8. It was a Sunday night clash before the holiday. King of the North. King of the North.
The King of the North.
What the heck is happening to Carlton?
Well, there's a old Chinese proverb which says, if you continue to do the same things over and over and expect the same results, then it's the sign of insanity. So that's what Carlton continue to do every week, and they continue to come up with the same results. So, they can't kick. They just kick the ball up in the air and hope for the best. They can get out of. They could get out of the back line this week, but they couldn't get into their forward line this week. So they've got massive problems all over the place. There's no direction. The captain gets 2 possessions in the first quarter, and the amazing thing is they celebrate on their first goal like they've won a premiership, and then they just don't do anything for the rest of the game. So, they're I don't know. Vossi's in trouble. I reckon 2 more losses, and I reckon the coach is gone. I'm making the call now, and we'll just have to see. I think they're going to get beaten by the Gold Coast at the MCG. I've actually got a ticket for that one, so I might even go to that game. But I can't see them turning things around, because I watched some diehard Carlton supporters talking about it on TikTok, and they just don't have any direction. So there's a massive problem somewhere in that club.
Look, definitely there's problems, but I watched some of the highlights again. I've looked over the stats, and I mean, there's a lot of stuff that they're doing right. Like they're winning ball, they're winning contested possession. Yes, they didn't tackle, but Essendon play that, hold the ball off me, the kick mark. So, it's hard. You can blame the coach, but I think he's trying to do he's trying to get the players to do the endeavour. They just can't finish. They can't finish, and they can't. And sometimes that's just, you got to blame the players as well. Like, it cannot not always be the coach, because they played last year for him, and they were playing well last year. So I don't know.
The players seem to have a bigger opinion of themselves than they should.
Well,
a lot of people are talking about, we're good enough to be contenders. They're not even good enough to be top 8 at the moment. So, they've got to rethink the way they're thinking, because they need to be thinking like, we just need to win a game, and we just need to get into the top 8, and we just need to get into the top 4. Not that we're going to be contenders this year.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, man. I just look at their stats here, and they had 56 inside 50s, that to 41 Essendon. So they were getting it in there. They were winning enough ball. They just can't execute. They just cannot. They can't kick to save their life. So, and what happens is when you get all that ball and it goes in 50 and you keep missing, it goes into your head and they drop their heads. It sets in. It's a psychological thing then, and they just think that they can't do it. And it just kills you. That's momentum. Just kill you. If you can't capitalize on your good work, I mean, that's with anything in life, really. Like, if you do something and
heads
you
go down, and then
but anything in life, you're trying to do the right thing and doing the right thing, but you just can't capitalize. What happens to people? They get depressed, don't they? And they drop their heads. They go into a hole.
Exactly.
and that's what's happening here, man. So I think they're done. Look, players like Walsh had 35 touches, but they weren't damaging at all. None of his kicks were effective. Not effective enough. He had 35 touches, looks like a good game, but none of his kicks were effective. Same with the only one that I could say were effective with Cheryl was good. I think Doherty played it right in the back line. Sard was always good. Cripps is he's HESS. He's lost his way big time.
He's cool. He's cool.
And then Colonel up forward, 2 goals for. He was a sharpshooter at the start of the year. He kicked 6. He would kick 6 goals. You know what I mean? He's not kicking him anymore because the doubt sets in.
He was in front. He was in front for those goals as well. It's not like he was out on the wing trying to kick the goals. Yeah. He was right in front of the goal.
And I watched a video on TikTok about the supporters were giving, they were walking off and they were just yelling abuse to the players.
Right. Yeah, I've seen that too.
I mean, I just don't think that's. I mean, I understand they're upset, but it's just a game, and
they're beyond upset. They're beyond upset. It's 20 years. 20 years of crap that they've had to put up with.
But don't go say to Silvani, what they say? They put him down so harshly. What's one player gonna do? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think that before you talk, you got to be careful what you say, because people can, especially these days, man, people are not as hard as they used to be back in the 90s and 80s.
That's true.
I don't know. It's sad. Look, it's a sad state of affairs at Icon Park, and hopefully they can salvage some sort of season in the back end, but it looks a bit dire at the moment.
Yeah, Johnny D, what do you reckon?
I just think, Carlton, they don't bring the pressure to the games, you know what I mean? And it's a joke. I reckon I said about 4 or 5 weeks ago, you need to sack Vossi. I know the players got the blame, but I mean, you just can't change a whole squad. You can change management at any moment. And I think they've missed that boat now. I think you just got to ride Vossi to the end of the season now. But
Yep.
they had an opportunity there to make the switch, and they didn't. And I feel for the Carlton supporters. I was watching a clip on TikTok, and they were just abusing the Carlton players coming down.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Coming down the tunnel, man.
As they were coming down the tunnel. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the Carlton players there and the Carlton supporters. It's a proud club, and they're just. Bottom 4, man. It says it all, really. If you had told me Carlton would be in the bottom 4 halfway through the season, I would say no way. You know what I mean? So, like Chris said, players like Cripps are really underwhelming right now. He's got the Brownlow curse on him this year, and they need a shake-up. They need something to change at their footy club. I believe maybe management, but. Yeah, I'm not too sure. So Carlton are done for the year. Essendon, good win, keeps him in the hunt for top 8. And sorry, Coffee, I don't know about Carlton this year. Maybe next year.
Cripps had 19 disposals. We had 4. You only had 4 kicks. 4 kicks, 15 handballs, 2 tackles, and that's it. That's subpar for a guy that was a Brownlow medalist last year. So,
I mean, if you're not getting the disposals, at least you should be laying the tackles. And if you're not, you know what I mean? You're not even doing that. So
and Wiedering down back, McGovern down back. The service down back's not the best. They pick when they're going for kicks, they're just picking the wrong kicks, and they're too slow to move the ball as well sometimes. But they're getting it in the 50. As I said before, guys. I mean, the stats are. It was 50. It was what was the inside 50s? 56 to 41. They had 388 disposals, and Essendon had 368. So they were winning the ball. They were one contested possession, 129 to 112. So they're winning the ball. It's what they do with the ball is the problem. So look, Essendon, There was some patches. Look, I reckon the second quarter, I think Carlton should have been up 5 goals, but they were just not good enough. Essendon comes back third quarter, has a ripper third quarter. It was like a 10-minute blitz where they just scored 8 goals to 1 or something, and that was the game. So, what can I say, man? Look, Essendon they look all right, but they were playing Carlton, so.
Two minute Peter.
Yeah, it was good to see Peter Wright back. He got how many goals did he score? He scored 4 goals? 5. He got 5. Yeah, he scored 5
goals.
5 goals. So they're looking good. Zach Merritt. Hey? Sorry? Oh my God, he's turned into a robot.
He's turned into a robot. It's Johnny G the robot tonight.
Johnny G the robot. Anyway, so Zach Merritt was tagged, but he didn't play in the middle, so he only got 18 disposals, but he went up forward, but he had an impact on the game. So that's the difference when you got players like that can impact, where guys like Walsh, guys like Cripps are not impacting the game. Yeah, they're getting a lot of possessions, but especially Walsh, but he's not impacting.
Yep.
There was one instance, right? I don't know if you remember it. The King of the North will remember it. They'll kick into Curnow, and always gets in the way of Curnow, and you never get if you've ever played footy before, you always leave room for your forwards to run into. So you got to know how it works, right? Because if you get in their way, it's not going to work. So you need to have that connection with your forward line. So they kicked it to Curnow, always in the way, and they missed it all because, it was just the Benny Hill music show. You know the Benny Hill show?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
and the other thing was that the other commentators who were talking about the game afterwards were saying when you look at Geelong, you know what you're going to get. You know, Geelong has a game plan. You know what you're going to see when you go watch Geelong. You know what you're going to get when you go watch Collingwood. You know what you're going to get when you go watch, any of the other teams. You don't know what's going to happen with Carlton at all. They just don't have there's no structure, proper structure. They're just kicking. They just go out there and they kick it around and hope for the best.
Yep.
It seems.
Yeah. Look, there's a few chats here, guys. I agree with you, King. I agree with you, but there's a few chats here. So Aussie Dan says hello.
G'day, Aussie Dan.
G'day.
Harry McKay cried today, saying he didn't like getting sprayed by the supporters when they walked off the ground.
Oh, boo-hoo.
Yeah, look, I don't agree with that, but you got to be tougher if you cried. Don't cry about it, but don't be happy about it. Don't cry.
Yeah, what do you mean? What do you mean he cried though?
Did he actually cry, like an actual tears? Because I wouldn't have cried, but it's not nice. It's not nice though. Tex tied first for the Common now. Yeah, we'll talk about that soon. Which Crows play like that every game? Oh, I'm talking about the Crows now. Relax, we're not on the Crows yet. Look at European soccer teams and their fans. Their fans absolutely rip into their teams when they don't perform. Yeah, I know they do.
They do.
I know they do.
Yep.
We just haven't seen that in the AFL for a long time. Don't let me go. Don't see the European athletes cry about it. Yeah, true. We are below par for Cripps standard. Yeah, he's very below par. Jimmy T, there's obviously a riff amongst player group and coaches. I heard there was a bit of a riff. I'm not sure if it's true, but I heard there was a riff. I'm not sure. Ed Curnow tagged Merritt and only got 1 tackle. So, yeah. Chunky Footy's back. Welcome, Chunky. Welcome.
Chunky. Welcome, Chunky.
Hawks game was rigged. We'll talk about that. So,
Hawks game was rigged.
Yeah, that's what he reckons.
Wow. That's a big statement.
Anyway, well, look.
Carlton, Joy of Unknown will not agree with that.
I don't think Carlton are making finals, guys, but Essendon, I think they can, but there are some tough games coming up for them, and I think they could fall out, but I reckon they still fall out. For me.
Yeah, well, obviously, I think Carlton not making the 8 this year, and I reckon Essendon just might do it. I reckon they might get in.
Yeah. How about you, King? What about you?
Carlton is a possible bottom 3 side. I reckon Gold Coast can finish. I reckon Hawthorn can finish above them, and I think they've got more talent and they've got more drive than Carlton do. And Essendon, I don't know whether they can do it against the big sides. So let's say equal 8 spot, but won't get in on percentage.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you have it, guys. So that was the Carlton. I mean, we can talk all day about Carlton, but we haven't got all night. So, but look, the next game we'll talk about the Crows.
Hawks do have a better coach, don't at me.
Hawks. Wait, Chris Beach is here. Hawks game was rigged. If I remember, Brisbane won, and Carlton season is dead, cremated and buried. That's all I have to say on the matter. How was it rigged?
Yes. Correct.
I thought Hawthorn played really well.
Two people have said the Hawks game was rigged. We didn't actually see the Hawks game.
I didn't. I watched a little bit of it, but I don't think it was rigged.
I was watching.
Yes, they are dead and buried, Chris.
I thought Hawthorn played really well.
I used to feel sorry for Richmond, but that's now Carlton supporters.
G'day, Mark Johns. Welcome to the chat.
Johnsy, how are you, mate? Happy birthday, by the way, Mark Johns. It was his birthday last week, so give him a happy birthday, guys.
Happy birthday.
Give him a happy birthday. Anyway, guys, he actually had some cake at work. It was nice. Anyway,
nice.
Guys, so the next game was the blockbuster between the Crows and the Eagles. What a blockbuster it was.
What a blockbuster it was.
The HESS Coast. So the final score was 27 goals, 12, 174 to 8 goals, 4.
27 goals, 12, was it? Oh, my God. I didn't even see the end score. Wow.
And you know what? And the big news of the night was this, guys. I've got the graphic up here. It was Tex with 10 goals. What an achievement. I think it's a record it's a record at Adelaide Oval for a few years. It's an amazing record. He played really well. He was untouchable. Tex Walker.
I'm glad we didn't do a watch along with Johnny G, otherwise it would have been so painful to watch.
Johnny G is Tex Walker by 60 points, Dougie reckons.
Give us a rundown, Johnny G. Tell us all about the game.
I love that. I don't know about that emblem, man. Looks a bit old there. That's an old one, isn't it?
It's an old one.
He's an old style guy. He's an old fashioned guy.
Classic.
10 goals too. I mean, far out. That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, Tex Walker score alone beats the West Coast, but
and it was his 250th game, by the way. 250th.
Yeah, congratulations to Tex Walker.
And he beats Carlton by himself as well, by the way.
It's not hard to do these days, is it?
That's right.
But no, look, it was a great game by the Crows. It was expected. I was saying this would be a percentage boost for us. The Crows did exactly what we needed to do. They couldn't afford to go easy on the West Coast because we're in that range of group of teams where percentage might be needed for us to make the finals this year. So, look, I don't want to banter West Coast too much because I feel bad, and they're going through a rebuild, and their defense was like very unknown this game. So it was pretty much like a very poor defense coming up against a really good attack with obviously Walker, Rankin, Fogarty, and Phil Thorpe and Rochelle, all those type of players. So the writing was on the wall from the get-go. Look, I'm really proud of the Crows. We did what we had to do. I mean, so many players had good games. If you look at the data and the fantasy points, most of our team nearly tonned up. So I don't know if you can read much into it for West Coast. You know, they weren't expected to do anything here. I think Chris was expecting a bit closer score, but
He was like, West Coast were going to win.
yeah, I think someone said in the chat last week West Coast were winning. But
Yeah.
Well, they had five of their best defenders out. Like they had, so defense was decimated. I think they sent Oscar Allen back there to help out at one stage. So
yeah, he actually stopped the flow of the goals a few times going back there. He was like, I reckon Oscar Allen was their best player on that day.
Yeah, Oscar Allen. There you go. So, oh man, like congratulations, man! It's a huge win, and
Well done.
And Tex Walker, I mean, he just goes to show that even when you're 33, you can have one of the best games. And you know, even though West Coast
better than Buddy Franklin.
Well, you know, even though West Coast are HESS, you know, they're still AFL listed players. So, you know,
That's right.
you still beat AFL listed players, and that's all that matters. So they are decimated, and they are, you know, one of the worst teams going out there. But you know, you have to do what you had to do, and a 122-point win is great, and you know, it helps your percentage. Rory Laird looked like he had a good game, 34 touches. Dawson back at 32 touches. Elliot Yeo had 30. Ben Keys had 29. Tim Kelly had 27. Kind of like was only him and Yeo were the only ones in the midfield really doing anything for West Coast. But Taylor Walker, 21. Look at this, 21 disposals, 18 kicks, 3 handballs, 11 marks for 10 goals too. That is one of the best games I've ever seen.
He got 208 in Supercoach.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Did anyone have him as I mean, and to do it on your 250th game is amazing. So, well done to Tex. I know we love to hate you over in Port Adelaide, but I've got to give you credit where credit's due. You played amazingly. So, look, where did the Crows go from here, man? Can they replicate this kind of form going into, like, they're going away next? I know they got the bye, and then they go to MCG. Can they?
I'm optimistic against Collingwood. Obviously, they're not immortal. They just lost on the weekend, and we'll touch on that in a bit. But they're missing key players still in that game, in Degoe and Sidebottom.
Yeah.
So I think if you ever got a chance to beat Collingwood at the MCG, I reckon it's just after the bye when they're missing a couple key players. So we're coming off a great win. They're coming off a loss. I think it's going to be closer than people think. Obviously, Collingwood would be favourites in that game, but I reckon the Crows can give them a good run.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think so too. I think without Degoe, without Sidebottom, I think this is the time you can beat them. So I think you can definitely beat them, and I think you have to beat them, man. I think this is the game that's gonna say yes, Crows have arrived. You know what I mean?
If we beat Collingwood in MCG, 100% finals this year.
Yeah, you got to beat them. Yeah, because then if you lose to them, I mean, beating them at MCG is hard, but I think because they've got those outs, I think you can do it, and we'll really announce you guys as a final team this year. So,
and they did lose their way. They lost their way on the weekend as well. So yeah, it's a good sign.
Yeah. Look, I can't
plenty going on in the chat.
Yeah, I'll go through the chat in a sec, but before we do, West Coast, a HESS, they need, I don't know what needs to happen there, but
just stay bottom to get the number one. Stay bottom to get the number one.
What I think they have to do, what I think they're going to do is get the number one pick, and then trade it for like three first round picks if they can. Try to get as many youngsters and make sure they're from WA. Don't worry about Reed. Don't worry about him. Just get the best WA talent you can get and just start building up from there, because they've only got
a lot of talent in WA.
That's what I'm saying. So they got to get rid of the pick one and just get some WA boys in there, because Harley Reid's not going to be like, I don't think he's going to be the player like down there. I don't think it's going to take a while, and that kid's a star. So They need more than just him, though. Do you know what I mean? So,
and they should pick up the guy that's not getting a run for Carlton as well at the moment, who's playing in the seconds.
who's that?
Oh, I can't remember his name. Dow, is it Dow?
Oh, Paddy Dow, yeah.
Paddy Dow,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
So
depends
can't
on
get a
the-
run
yeah.
in the ones, but
Yeah.
consistently does good in the seconds. So pick that guy up, West Coast, and do yourself a favour.
And I think they're going to make a call on Adam Simpson. Is he going to steer this group to the next level, or are they going to find someone different to do it? So they're really going to decide what they're going to do. You know.
Well, Vossi will be looking for a job, so that'd be okay.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, look. Quick, I'll go through some of this chat.
G'day, JJ Masters in the chat. He's
JJ.
just arrived. Good
How
to
you
see
going,
you.
mate? Chunky goes, Lions beat Demons and Pies beat Demons, meaning flag Lions. No, it does not mean Lions. Lions are in a bit of trouble. They can't win away from the Gabba, so big problems at the Lions at the moment. So I'm not going to read all these, but I'll read. They're just Chunky and Dynamic having a bit of an argument. Yeah, having a bit of King of the North. King of the North looks fancy. He does look fancy. HESS Coast.
Thank you very much.
GT23 HESS Coast. HOAT HESS Coast team. I like it. Mark John, just a good day for the club. It was a good day for the Crows. 250th game was amazing. Right? Yeah. So if you're a Crow supporter, mate, and you were there, it would have been amazing to see that. JJ Masters, hey Chris, who's the best player in the AFL at the moment? I think Buddy, Dunkley, and Dacos or Bont. I don't think any of these players. I'm going to say my boy Zach Butters is the number one player right now.
He is Butters for sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's
and I'll put your forward in there in the top 5 as well, John.
What's that, sorry?
Dawson's in the top 5.
I'll put your forward in there as well.
He's having a great year, Dawson. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
he's great.
I don't think Dacos, like what I saw on the weekend, he was not in good form. So the bot was still good on the weekend, but he's dropped a bit.
Yeah.
We'll give Pies a go. Mark Johns reckons, and
100%.
Some of those Bulldogs players are really good. Some of the Melbourne players are really good as well. So and take a look at some of the Hawks players as well. They're going good too. So
Chunky, don't abuse people on the channel. We'll have to remove it, man. So I'll be removing that one. No one says shut up to people on my chat. Only positivity in here, guys. If you want to do banter, you be positive about it. We need a tribunal for the group chat. We do. I do. No, I don't mind having banter in the chat, but don't tell people to shut up. If you got a problem with someone, take it outside. Don't bring it in the chat. It's all about positivity in this chat. Anyway, Adelaide still making the finals. I think they're going to make the finals. I think they're going to beat Collingwood, and they're gonna make the finals. King of the North, what do you reckon?
King of the North. Who are we talking about? Who's making finals?
Adelaide making finals.
Crows. Oh, I did have them as top 4. I've been on the Crows train all along, you know. But I think they might just not be good enough for top 4, and they'll be in the top 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I reckon we'll make finals, and we'll give Collingwood a very good run.
I reckon best 5th.
Yep.
I reckon best 5th. I reckon worst 8th for me.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And West Coast will be wooden spoon.
As I said, man, West Coast are finished. Don't worry about West Coast. All right. Okay. Well, that was congratulations, Johnny G again, and good luck. Well done, man. All right. So the next game was my boys. It was the Western Bulldogs versus the Port Adelaide Football Club. It was on a Friday night at Marvel Stadium. 13-7-85 to 16-11-107. Port got their 10th win in a row. I was
What a game.
bloody. It was a great game. Great game. I mean, we've had some really boring Friday night games with Carlton. So to get a game that was actually decent on a Friday night was really nice. Was really nice. Especially after we had a really shit game on Thursday night. It was nice to get a good game on Friday. And look, all I can say is I cannot be more happier than, yeah, I still can't believe it. Like, if you had told me round 3 after the showdown, when I was crying like this on this show and I was wearing the Adelaide Crow scarf, do you remember, guys? You remember when I was wearing the Adelaide Crow scarf, guys?
Yes, we do remember it well. Yes.
And I was like this, going on, and the music was playing. If you had told me then that we were going to be 10 wins in a row after that, I wouldn't have believed you. I would not have believed you. So to be 10 wins, to be 10 wins up in a row is amazing. And I just don't. I can't. It's hard to. It's just it's infectious. Like But look, the game was it was an up and down game. At the end, we did get some decisions that went our way. We capitalised on them, and we were just too good for the Dogs. Any calling for Hinkley's head? Yeah. Look, I like what he's doing. I think as I said last week, I think what he's doing is great. And if he was to sign on, I'd be happy. And yeah, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. I think they should just wait till August and see where the team's at, and then go from there. But look, Zach Butters had 31 touches. He had 1 goal. Some of the stuff he did in that game were unreal. Like when I talk about Paddy Cripps, Walsh, you know how it's said that when they try to hit a target, they're not damaging. They're not putting it into the favour of their team. Zach Butters is probably the opposite. He does kicks and he goes for kicks that are very risky, and I reckon 9 times out of 10 he's pulling them off, and he's just amazing, man. But look, they had a lot of the ball, Bulldogs. Alan Treloar had 34 touches, Liberatore had 33, Bontempelli 31, Dale had 30, Daniel had 29, Smith had 28, McRae had 26, and then Blake had 26. So they had a lot of the ball. Huge, like if you see the numbers, 381 disposals to 311. So they really overpossessed the ball, but we got it into the 50 more times, and then 54 to 51. But they just so they get the ball a lot. It's not a matter of that. It's just I think their defense is a bit shonky, and their forward line, like Norton, he's not in good form. And I just look, we matched them, so I'm ecstatic. I can't believe it. I still can't. 22 points. I haven't even got it up. Did I bring it up? Yeah, I did. Finlayson in the forward line. Charlie Dixon scores 4 goals in his comeback. Guys, I am happy.
I was yelling for you, Johnny G. Too.
What's that?
Hey, Johnny G. What's going on? Where's me support?
Charlie Dixon has proved the haters wrong, kicking a bag. But look, all serious, it's a big accomplishment from Port. They're looking like they're going to give Collingwood a run for the minor premiers now. Big congratulations to Chris. They're looking really good, and they're looking like flag contender as well. So it's all happening for Port at the moment. They look like even though that dodgy free kick happened to stop a goal from Dogs in the last quarter, I still think Port were the better team and probably deserved the win. So, but yeah, look, it's hard for a Crows fan to say it, but yeah, they look good, and I'm hoping they slow down. And yes, and Butters is the number 1 player in the comp right now.
He is, and you know what I love? I love Drew. Yeah. Drew in the middle, the redhead guy. He's awesome, man. I love his and I think Jason Horn-Francis. I know you guys always pay him out, and everyone boos him, and I don't understand why opposition player or opposition
They
supporters
boo him because he took the easy option, Chris. That's why.
Dude, who cares? Like,
No.
if I was like, wanted to go home to my parents, who gives a shit? Why are you booing him? Just let it go.
I'm just telling you why they boo him. That's the reason.
But he's 19, bro. It is pathetic. It is, and it. If that was my son getting booed, I'd be like, take it easy. Like, it's not even there. Like, I understand if the North Melbourne players supporters boo him, right? But every other club boos him. I don't know. Anyway, with that being said, he scored one of the best goals I've ever seen. He was on. The ball comes into the 50. He was one of the best plays of the night. So Butters passes it off. He wins it down the halfback flank. Passes it off to Drew. Drew kicks it into the 50. Rioli is fighting with another person. It goes on the ground. He comes up, picks it up, runs onto the ball, picks it up, turns 180, bang, goal. One of the best things you ever see on a footy field. It was amazing. And
It was good.
So Horn Francis, Butters, Rosie, these players, unbelievable. So you can just tell that he's more happier at Port Adelaide and he's playing amazingly. Environment changes. Look, at the end of the day, yeah, he did leave, but if he's playing better and he's happier, fuck, mate, can't blame the bloke. So that's what I think. Anyway.
The question is now: is Port minor premiers this year or not?
I reckon I'm going to be top two.
No.
I reckon top two.
Carlton.
Collingwood are looking wobbly.
Collingwood are looking wobbly. Yes, they are. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I don't know. I don't know.
That.
Depends on the fixture, and yeah, it depends on injuries. Depends on a lot of things. I think the person the team that's going to win the premiership is going to be the team that is the healthiest at the sticky end. So if Port can keep their list healthy, I think they can go a long way, and they can definitely have a chance to win the minor premiership and go on to finals. But it all depends on injuries. It depends on as I said, if the list is healthy going there. And same with Collingwood. Like, they lose a few players. They lost to Goey and they're off side bottom now, so they're huge losses. That's a bit of their engine room gone on the weekend. So don't know, man.
What about the Doggies? They're making finals. They've lost 3 in a row now. So is that 3 in a row? I think they've lost
3 in a row. So they lost to the Gold Coast, they lost to Geelong, and now they've lost to Port. So 3 in a row. Yeah, they're in a bit of a hole, aren't they?
And they're fully strength.
I think they're still up. I think they're still okay.
So they're making finals.
They've got enough firepower still to go. In the top 8.
I think they'll probably make top 8, but I can see them sliding out if they don't. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, sometimes they're not clean with the ball. Norton, I reckon Norton should go down back, helping defense, because their defense is it's always chopping and changing. I don't know. I think Bevo needs to just settle down the defense a bit. Like last week he had different players in defense. This week he had, So I don't know, man. I don't know. I think they'll scrape in the 8. I'm going to say they're going to scrape in the 8 for now. But if they keep getting losses, I'm going to be changing my view. But yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think they just sneak in. Sneak in.
Yeah. All right.
Next game.
Go to Power. I'm really excited, guys.
Chat
really
still
excited.
going off?
Well, I'll quickly just.
Is the chat going off?
Yeah.
Move. All right. Quickly. Oh shit, man! There's so many to think. Crows for lock for finals. That's what Dynamic reckons. I think the head coach will lose. I think HESS will lose Jimmy T. So, what we reckon this year, 52 or 48 points gets you into the 8+ best percentage. I think 12 wins, 13 wins gets you into the 8?
Sorry, what?
Oh, Jimmy T goes
12 or 13 wins.
What we reckon this year, 52 or 48 points gets you into the 8+ best percentage. That's like, so 48 is like 12, was it 12 or 13 wins? So
12 wins.
12 wins. So,
I've picked 5 wins for the Crows for their next 9 games that will be favourites. So,
Dogs form slump just in time for Port. That's what Tony Nami reckons. Yeah, 52 enough for finals. Any call for Hinkley's head? Not at the moment, Jimmy. Mark Johns. Does Hinkley get another year if he makes finals? Yes,
yeah.
I think
You'd have to say yes at the moment.
I think so.
Probably say yes. Yeah. You watch. In a few weeks, he'll sign a contract. I bet you.
Yeah. Why is Chunky getting blocked? What do you say? Move Port to China. Oh, it's definitely getting blocked. Definitely getting blocked. Nah, I'm just joking. But it's all right. All happening for the SA teams. Let's see it. Look, I'll tell you what. If Port and Crows make the grand final, if I lose, you won't see me again. That's it. Done.
That's it. Be all over.
JFK is doing all right for the power. He is JFK. Zorko is a grub. Horn Francis come back from the dead. He did. Power top Adelaide Cup. 100% MJ. All right. Now, next game, guys. Next game was.
He said that Dane Zorko is 5 times better than Butters. That's what he said, and then Don't At Me said Zorko's a grub.
Well, it's nice to see Don't At Me saying nice things about Port Adelaide.
Sticking up for Port Adelaide.
I know.
That's right.
It's crazy. So, all right, next game was.
That's a good thing. You're bringing him around.
All right, next game was. It was the Thursday night game down at the SCG. It was the Swans 9 goals, 12-66 to 12 goals, 8-80. It was a shit of a game. The first quarter was like the worst footy I've seen. It was like watching Carlton on reruns.
It was.
That's how bad it was. In contrast to the other games that we did see, this was HESS. But St Kilda got the chocolates at the end. Sydney, there was a patch there where they played really well and they should have been more in front, but they just butchered the ball a lot. So yeah, guys, what did you think of this? Did you guys watch this one?
Yeah, I watched it on Thursday night, and Sydney are just their own worst enemy. They just threw the game away at the end. And Buddy's pretty much had it. So he doesn't bring nothing to the team anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know. St Kilda played all right. So I'm not taking anything away from St Kilda. But Sydney should be playing. They've got a pretty good squad. They should be playing much better than they are. Yeah, and especially at home, they're getting beaten at home easily. So
100%.
Yeah, it's all over for Sydney, mate.
It is.
It's all over. St Kilda, big win, keeps them in the hunt for the finals. And what can I say? Lions doing a good job over there.
Florent had a good game. 34 touches. Brad Crouch, 33. Sinclair had 32. Wanganeen Malira had 30. He had a great game.
He's a good player, man.
He is, man. He is, man. Goals. Max King had 3 goals, 1. Owens had 2 goals, 2. Butler, 2 goals, 1. And Butler, let me just tell you guys that he did get, he was cited for bumping someone, but he did get off. So St Kilda's Dan Butler is free to play this week against Richmond after a successful appeal.
Yeah, did you see the tackle? It was just a normal tackle, man. And because his head touched the ground, they called it a dangerous tackle.
Yeah. So it's good to see that he's off. The other one that got suspended was Ryan Mansell. Ryan Mansell has been suspended for 3 weeks following his high-speed bump on Fremantle's JMH. So that was another one that did get suspended.
That was a good hit. That was a good hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big hit.
So, but good to see Butler is not suspended. That's fantastic.
If you're old enough to remember, I'll get you, Butler. So there.
I'm too young for that.
You are too young. Yeah, it's only for the old people. So
yeah, as I said, man, it was Sydney had 54 inside 50 to 51, so they got the ball in there, just couldn't convert. And Buddy only had 2 goals. It was his 350th game, and yeah,
Buddy's finished.
Yeah, look, I think both St Kilda can, if they play that boring style of footy, but it can hold up in games sometimes, and they can definitely make the 8. I think they stay in the 8. But yeah, Sydney are finished for me.
I agree.
Jimmy T, you're never going to change Ross Lyon's way he coaches. He coached that way when he was at Fremantle, and they went through those years of boring footy as well. It's just what he does. He's not going to change.
Didn't he get him to a grand final once?
He did. Oh, they got to the grand final. Yep.
Yeah.
Buddy's gone to, I think.
So it works.
3 grand finals with Sydney, I think.
With St Kilda.
Who, Longmire?
No, Buddy Franklin's had 3 grand finals with Sydney.
I don't know.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah,
anyway,
four with Hawthorn.
Sydney's finished.
2014, 2016,
Thank you,
and 2022. So he had chances to win 3 premierships with them, but failed. So, yeah. Well, look, St Kilda good. Sydney HESS. Joy of unknown. Hello, my friend.
Joy is in the house.
Joy is in the house. So, look.
I do like the name.
I do like it too. Look, Joy is right on time because guess what? We're about to talk about
the Hawks with Brisbane. Timing.
But before we go, did you guys say are they making finals, St Kilda King?
Saints yes, Sydney no.
Saints yes.
Yeah. And Sydney.
I think they'll be there 7 or 8. Yep.
Yep.
And Sydney no.
No, not 2. What are you talking about 2? It wasn't dynamic because you had they played against the Hawks in 2014. Then Sydney played the Bulldogs in 2016, and then Sydney played last year at Geelong. So that's 3. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
Anyway, let me know if I'm wrong because I don't think I am. But anyway, the next game.
4 times for the Hawks, I think.
Next game. This is the game that everyone's talking about in the chat. It's got a chunky a bit rolled up. 15 goals, 898 to 11 goals, 773. What a win by the Hawks. You know what? I was really happy.
Down the Hawks.
I was really happy they won. I've got a few good mates that are Hawks supporters. I've got a cousin that's a Hawks supporter, and he was ecstatic. So I was happy for them to get the win. And, Brisbane, I don't like Brisbane. They're one of those teams I don't like. And to see them lose was happy days for me. So, guys, what do you make of this one? I know you watched it, Johnny G.
I reckon the Hawks deserve to win, man. But it just shows that Brisbane Lions are a little bit like the Crows, where they're just a home team. You know what I mean? They can only win it together. So, I think this game shows me that Brisbane aren't flag contenders. You have to beat Hawthorn no matter where you play them. So, now Hawthorn wanted it more. They had the pressure. Their young players really stood up in this game. Sicily was massive again down back, coming back into the squad. I do like the performances of like Newcomb and Will Day and players like that. And they've actually got some good young forwards coming up. Like Lewis looks good. Is it Koziski looks good up there? And more. So they got players, man. They're building. And look, this is a big loss for Brisbane. It's going to put a big dent in their not their finals hope, but flag hope, if I would like to call it. Yeah. So, Look,
Yeah.
exciting. Look, it looks like the rebuild at Hawthorn's going to come quicker than the likes of West Coast, I suppose. And Brisbane.
And North.
Yeah, and North. And obviously Carlton have been rebuilding for 20 years. But
Yeah. Join the rebuild.
Yeah, so look, Hawthorn are definitely heading in the right direction, and it's a bit of a worrying sign for Brisbane, especially if they want to win a flag this year.
100%. Well, breaking news, guys. Breaking news. Sicily has just been suspended for 3 weeks. I just saw the news.
3 weeks.
So, yeah, it just happened then, guys. So that's a big loss because he had 32 touches. He was really influential in that game in the back line.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What did he do?
He bumped. No, he tackled. Dangerous tackle. Yeah, so.
He's a repeat offender, so that's why.
Yeah, and he ran to the ground. The guy was knocked out. Who was it? It was McCluggage?
Oh, that's the guy you knocked out. Okay, gotcha.
Did he get knocked out?
I remember seeing that one.
Yeah, so you're going to be careful.
He did, yeah. Yeah, he knocked him out.
So that's a big loss for him going into the next 3 games for Sicily because he really makes them a lot better down back. I do like the way Sicily plays. He's a great player, man. Like we watched him live we watched him live at the Marble Stadium when I was over in Melbourne with the King, and he was on fire that day. So Lockie Neal had 30, Dunkley had 28, but a lot of ball getters were the Hawks. So they really did well, guys. They really did well. They had 426 disposals to 324. That's a massive discrepancy for a team that
Sicily
is
coming with the Crows.
What's happening in the chat? I don't have my phone, man.
Oh my god! Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. So, inside 50, 62 to 46. Brisbane, whoever said this was a rigged game doesn't know what they're talking about. You can't have 62 inside 50s to 46 and expect to win. You can't
That's what I was wondering.
You can't have 426 disposals to 324.
That's a funny guy. That's all I can say.
You can't look.
Read the chat.
137 to 124. You can't expect to win if you're getting done in contested possession. Brisbane, you shit at the MCG. I'm sorry to say it. That's what you are. So anyway, in the chat, let's have a look.
Yep.
Only because Butters is coming to the Crows, don't at me. You're on drugs, mate. He would never come to the Crows. Never. St Kilda are so boring. Jimmy T reckons St Kilda are boring. All right, Hawks, Wild, Lions, Hess. That's what Dana reckons. Great win. Let's go Hawks. Joy of Unknown is having, he's excited. Lions for the spoon. Lost the plot. Dynamic. I was at the Warman Fours while the game was happening. Didn't see the scores until early fourth quarter. Oh, he would have been happy to see that. Not the news to hear. I was talking about Sicily. Sicily come to the Crows. So is everyone coming to the Crows? They must have some magic salary
That's what had me laugh. Everybody going to the Crows.
Nick Dacos come to the Crows and Draper. Far out, everyone's going to the Crows. Far out. They must have a lot of room in the salary cap.
Dacos coming to the Crows.
They're coming for low wages.
They must be, man. Maybe 50,000 a year. No worries.
Work for last.
Yeah. No, look, Hawks are looking good. I think they're the best bottom 4 side I've seen in a long time, and I think they're gonna jump. They're gonna jump leap Carlton. I think. What do you think, guys?
I reckon they can.
I think they're a much better side than Carlton.
Yeah, I reckon the Gold Coast will have a cup, and then we'll have a cup. The next 2 weeks.
Rick.
He's a robot.
The robot.
Can
The
you repeat?
robot's back.
Has Hawthorn played Carlton yet?
No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks
Oh,
time.
man.
Oh,
Can't
mate.
wait for that game. Can't wait for that game.
Well, I think Carlton's got Gold Coast, Hawthorn. Oh, they got
They
some.
could lose both. They could lose both of them, man.
Yeah, they got some tough games, man.
No, Carlton's got Gold Coast and Hawthorn, and then the bye. So the bye will get them as well, and then they'll be bottom 3.
And then after the bye, who they got?
And one league gym will beat them as well.
One leg chip.
They got Hawks. Then they got Fremantle. They got Freo after the bye. No, after they play the Hawks. After they play the Hawks, they go to Fremantle and play Freo, and then they play Port Adelaide. Oh, mate, they got some hard games coming up.
No.
They got some hard games.
No.
It's gonna be a debacle.
Just before I get back to work, I'm Geelong by 105 points from Joy. So
the robot lips. Anyway, guys, Hawthorn for me are not making finals, but they're a team. They're an emerging team going places, and watch out in 2024, 2025 is what I'm saying. So
that's right.
you guys agree?
I agree.
Ron.
And
So I've just been renamed as well.
What do you guys think of Brisbane?
I still think top 4, but I worry for them when it comes finals time. I don't think they're going to go far especially if they have to play at the MCG or in Melbourne.
Yeah, I agree. You agree, King? You agree with that?
Brisbane top 8. Yep, Brisbane top 8.
All right. Next game was the Saturday night game. Freo versus Richmond. And look, this game, I was watching it at the pub, and Richmond started off really well and kept going. Freo did come back, but they held him off. So it was 10 goals, 70 to 12 goals, 13, 85. 15-point winners, the Tigers at Optus Stadium. Big blow for Fremantle. They missed an opportunity to consolidate a win there, and after some good form, they lost. So good on Richmond, man. I think if they keep winning, they can make finals.
Yeah, I actually watched this. I watched this game as well on Saturday night because I got no life and I just was home watching the football. And yeah, they had a good game. Richmond stood up. I thought Freo was going to get them. I tipped Freo and got 3 out of 9 as usual. So my tipping wasn't that great, but yeah, it was a really good game, and good on Richmond for doing that. And Zakal's in the chat. G'day, Zakal.
Zakal, how you going?
Zakal, what's up?
Yeah, Toronto had 35 touches. Bolton,
I said at the start of the year, lads, Richmond for the flag, and they're coming strong now. So let's go.
Oh, that's a big call. Huge call. That's a big call.
That's a massive call. Yeah.
Richmond for the flag. Imagine that. Jeez, that'd be crazy. Toronto had 35 touches. Bolton had 33. Shea Bolton is the man of the match.
He's a good player, isn't he?
Yeah, he's good. I know Toronto had 35, but Bolton was the reason they won that game. Prestia Cochin had 28, 27. Oh my God. The robot's back. The
robot's back.
For Freo, I guess Sarong had 31 touches, Brayshaw had 29. It was, they had just more of the ball. They were just cleaner. And it did rain down there as well. It was pissed down with rain. And Richmond.
It did piss down.
Richmond, that was a big win and keeps their season alive. Definitely. So, listen to this stat. Free kicks, 18 to Fremantle, 7 to Richmond, and they still won.
Far out.
Wow.
I know. So no, they won a lot of they won pretty much everything, every other stat. Very disappointing for Freo though. Very disappointing, and sets them back. Helps out the Crows in the 8, that's for sure. But yeah, sets them back a long way. So Richmond for me, I don't think they still make finals, but they're going to give it a red hot go. So Freo, I don't know. I don't know where to read them.
I think they got too much to do. They got too much to do from here. Their slow start to the season's cost them, and I think the Purple Haze is just going to miss out in finals this year.
Yeah, same. And this is what I really think of them, guys.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. So anyway, Chris, King of the North, what do you think of that one?
Same.
Same as us.
Yeah, neither are making finals.
Yeah. All right.
Freo will just miss out.
And the next game, moving on. The next game was North Melbourne versus GWS. I have no idea what happened in this game because I didn't watch it, but GWS did what they had to do against North Melbourne. And it was, 11 goals.
Got the goodies, did they?
Yeah, 11 goals, 9 to 15 goals, 13. I think everyone would have tipped GWS, apart from Johnny G. Johnny G.
You didn't, Johnny, but that's right.
Tom Green Tom Green, 32 touches.
My tips are all over, man. It's all over the tips.
Yeah,
Well, I know I've just
I only got 3 myself, and I did tip him.
Green had a good game. So, wait, where am I going? Got the wrong bloody game. Sorry, guys.
I'll do better next year's tips. Promise.
So Zeeble had 30 touches. So look, North Melbourne, I heard were pretty competitive in this game, but the class of GWS just shone out. So
Toby Green's a good player, man. That's
well, for North Melbourne, Larky had 4 goals too. So that's
Whitfield's back in form for GWS.
Yeah. I think North Melbourne are not as bad as Hess Coast. I think they're more competitive and there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I think they've got some good youngsters and, they look good. Wardlaw looked good.
He looks like a player.
Yeah. So, and then you got, I think, what was the other guy?
Got a good name too.
Shizu only had 24 touches, but, he's slowing down a little bit. It happens with younger players. But yeah, they're competitive, man. 11 goals, 9. It's better than Carlton. They would have beat Carlton. Do you know what I mean? So
that's right.
I think I reckon they're better than Carlton. To tell the truth. So,
just kick me while I'm down.
Sorry, guys, I left this on too long. But yeah, look, I don't think any of these guys are making finals. But you never know. Giants could slip in, but I doubt it.
Yeah. I think, none of these teams make finals. It's all over.
Oh, my God. GT23 picked North. What the heck is wrong with you?
I'm not the only one.
All right, guys. 2 more games. 2 more games to go through. This was one more game. Because we went through... Yeah, one more game because we went through the 3 games in the beginning. So the next game, straight into Easter Monday. King's birthday. King's birthday. It was the Melbourne Demons. 8 goals, 18, 66 to 9 goals, 8, 62. Low scoring game, but the D's get the chocolates in the end. It was actually a good game to watch. I know it wasn't high scoring, but the pressure of the game was really good to see. And I think the pressure of Melbourne just got done. Their defensive pressure was elite, and if they kicked straight, could have been a lot more. Collingwood did come back at the end to only lose by 6 points, but Collingwood are not invincible. That's what I learned.
They look like they really missed a go in this one. Nick Dacos, I think they tried to put him in the goalie role and he just wasn't as effective there.
Yeah.
I think Nick Dacos is better at the halfback. That's where he does his big damage, distributing the ball, hitting targets because he's a wonderful kick.
Yeah.
It's just not as hard on the footy as the goalie is, you know what I mean? So, no, look, good on Melbourne. They played really well. They deserved the win. Petrarca had a great game. Viney had a great game.
Yeah.
You know, Gorn did some really strong marks back there.
Yeah.
And May was really good. The Melbourne defense was really good in this game. So,
It really was.
They big win for Melbourne. They needed this win to sort of bring them back in the conversation of a flag contender this year. They did it without Oliver. And, that's a good sign. They're going into the break now, I think. And Oliver will come back after the bye. So, yeah, look, it's a big loss for Collingwood, but I wouldn't say it's a season-defining loss. They're still top of the ladder, but I think it's a big win for Melbourne in their season, and I reckon it's going to turn around their fortunes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we did the watch along for this one, me and Chrissy, and it was a cracking game of football, wasn't it? So both teams put on their best.
Yep.
And Melbourne were just too good. And that back line is sensational, isn't it, Johnny G?
Yeah, and they really played well, the Melbourne defence.
Viney had 32. Tom Mitchell had 30. Petrarca had 28. Lockie Hunter was really good, 28. And Chris was 28. Dacos 27, you bastard. That cost
me $1,200. Three more possessions for $1,200.
Yeah, killed my multi too. Salem on the back line for Melbourne had a really good game at 24 touches. And Rivers was really good at 23 touches. They had a few good players on the park. Gorn had a good, I reckon that was his best rucking performance for a while. And good to see Brody Grundy score a goal against his old side. So Darcy Moore had a bit of a quiet game in the back line. But I think Lever...
He come off a lot during the game because he got injured a couple times.
Yeah. I liked Van Rooyen as well, the way he led up to the ball. Jake Lever, I thought, was a great interceptor for them and really led that defense. Fritsch had 3 goals, 3. He's a sharpshooter. He could have had 6 goals. Pickett was a bit quiet and he had 2 behind. So
not having a good season, Pickett.
No, not like last year. No. So Collingwood. Yeah, they're not a team that, as I said, not invincible, and they got found out, and they had 59 inside 50s to 49. So Melbourne were all over them in that, but the stats don't really paint a good picture, man. It was a very even game. But Melbourne do. The stats show that Melbourne did win, but if Melbourne did kick straight, it would have been by more. Sorry, it was 4 points in margin, not 6. So
they got one late. Collingwood to make it. They got one late to make it interesting, didn't they, Collingwood?
They did. They got Dacos scored one more. So
they did. It went down to the wire.
Oh, Dacos. I was talking about Dacos to one of my mates today. I was saying to him how he gets a lot of the ball, but it's a lot of cheap. And he does. Look, I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm just saying, I compare him to Butters. Not the same kind of player at all. He's more of an outside player that collects ball on the outside and delivers perfectly. Where Butters is he's inside. He's fucking in there. You think I don't know how he does it. You know what I mean? They're just different players, and
it's a precise kick, Dacos, but he's not tough in the middle. You know what I mean?
He's not tough at all. Not tough at all. He's not tough. But I mean, look, I've got to say, he's 19. Butters is 23. So, we have to wait and see what he becomes. But I'm not saying he's a bad player. I just think he's not as good. I think he plays well when the team's playing well, but you can really see when the team's playing badly, he doesn't look as good. Do you know what I mean?
Would he be the youngest Brownlow medalist to ever win it if he does win it this year?
My mates. Huh?
Would he be the youngest Brownlow medalist ever if he wins it this year?
Yes, I think so. Oh, wait, Wanganeen was really young. I don't know how young he was in 93. It's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Good question, Johnny J.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Can we take that one on notice
look,
and come back to you?
That's it.
Anyway, I think Collingwood still are a good side, and they're going to be hard to take off the top. So I think they're still going to be in the top 4. Not sure if they'll lose the top spot, but they're definitely going to be up there. And Melbourne, look, I don't know. I've said before the watch along that they've only beaten the Western Bulldogs, and now in the 8, and now they've beaten Collingwood. So if they can keep going with this form that they've just come up with, definitely they're a threat to the top 2. So
yeah, I think Melbourne are working out how to play with Grundy and Gawn now, and I think both teams are going to be in the top 4.
Yep,
for sure. I agree.
Yeah, that's what I think too, guys. But look, I'll bring up the ladder and I will show you guys. Just give me 1 second. What's going on here? All right. So before we do go, one of my mates, because I was talking to actually him, Jimmy T's asking, did Clarkson make a mistake coming back to North? What do you guys reckon about that? Maybe he did.
Was that the mate you're talking about? Is it Chris?
Jimmy T asked that question. Did Clarkson make them?
Well, I think he would have known that this season would have been a tough first season at North, but he's just, as long as he keeps improving every season with North, he's doing a good job.
Yep.
So you'd probably have to judge Clarkson in a few years with North.
Yeah.
And he's still got the Hawthorn crap over his head as well. So he's got to move on from that as well.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Thomas in the chat.
One of my what? Yeah, he reckons he's got mental health problems, this and that. So yeah. Anyway, one of my mates. I was talking about KP about Dacos.
What are your mate? Is that who your mate is?
Yeah.
Fair
he was
enough.
talking to me. Voss young, Fife young, Herd young, but none 19. I don't think. So there you go. Voss was young, Fife was young. Was Wanganeen young? How old was Wanganeen when he won it in '93?
Yeah, but were they 19-year-old young?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
None 19. He doesn't think.
What was Wanganeen, man?
Shotty G's just walked away. He's disgusted.
Judd, 3rd year, won it. Wow. Thomas, welcome to the chat, mate. Make sure you like, share, subscribe.
Welcome.
Make sure you subscribe, buddy.
Yeah.
But
hit the like button. I haven't hit the like button yet.
By 60 points and good game last week. Dogs are going to win.
Hit the like button if you're in the chat.
Well, we will. Doko's playing his 2nd year. Yeah, he's playing his 2nd year. But he's 19 still, so we'll just wait for Johnny G to come.
I can't see Dacos being like a Brownlow medalist. There's no way. There's better players than that.
Here's Johnny G. Well, I don't know, man.
He's got his phone now. Look out.
Yeah, I don't know. Look out. All right. Johnny G's back in town. But look, this is the ladder, guys. The ladder, Collingwood.
The ladder.
Collingwood, 44 points is number 1. Port Adelaide is 2nd, but is just is equal points, but yeah, percentage. They're 2nd on percentage. So great work.
You're both 44.
Yeah, both 44, but just percentage is eluding us at the moment.
Well,
Melbourne,
you need to play West Coast to get your percentage up.
Yeah, that's right. Melbourne, a 3rd. Brisbane, a 4th. St Kilda, a 5th. Essendon, 6th. 7th are the Crows. Well done to the Crows. Bulldogs are 8th. They've dropped down to 8th, the Bulldogs. Geelong are 9th. Fremantle are 10th. Gold Coast are 11th. Richmond are coming up the ladder, 12th. Swans are 13th. Giants are 14th. Carlton, 15th. Bottom 4. Hawthorn are right up their asses at 16. North Melbourne, 17th. and the Eagles, or the Hess Coast Eagles, are 18th. So there you go. Any surprises there, lads? Any surprises?
Wanganeen was 20, he thinks.
Oh,
there you go. Obviously Carlton, big surprise.
Carlton, yeah.
It is a nice logo, isn't it, GT? It's I was saying earlier, bloody really good logo.
Yeah, I did. If you guys were here in the start of the chat, the start of the show, I did unveil the new logo for the footy show. So starting from next week, it's going to be this, guys. So I hope you guys like it. We had to do it for copyright reasons. So
give us a thumbs up in the chat if you like it.
Yeah. All right. So that's the ladder. Tipping comp. I think Johnny G has to go to the toilet for this one because it's very embarrassing for Johnny G. But here we go.
I think I'm below him, aren't I?
Well, look, I won't point Tim Thoss out right now, but BJK 1984 is on 78 points. Captain Benjamin is on 77. Jimmy T is third. KP has gone to fourth. Dougie's fifth.
Wow.
The Jazzman is eighth. GT23 is ninth. And Aaron Moore is 10th. Cobra's 2006. I'm pretty sure that's Don. That's 11th. Donnie is the 13th. Alia 15th. King of the North is 16th. Front Bums, who is Mark Johns, is 19th. Wogjam, who's me, is 20th. I've dropped. I got 3. Oh my God, Team Thos, what is going on? You just got 1. 1.
1. Did you get 1 really? Holy shit! I thought I did bad this week. 3.
He got 1.
Disgrace.
He got 1.
Wow,
so.
you're a disgrace, Johnny G. That's terrible.
The one I got right was
Chunky. I mean, I forgot he's not supposed to be in it, so Chunky's not in it anymore. I just forgot to take him out. Sorry, guys.
We got rid of Chunky.
He's not there. Don't worry. Just imagine he's not there.
We still don't know how he got in.
I don't know.
How did he get in? How did he get past the security, Chris?
I have to check it.
You're a security guard, bro. Fucking come on. 2 security guards on the podcast, and he gets by.
I know we're the best security ever, man.
I'm not. We're not cyber security.
The Greek security.
All right, guys. Next game. All right. So tipping. So next round.
Game. Next round.
Round 14 starts off this
Round
Thursday
14.
night, guys. This Thursday night, round 14. Let's do your tipping. So.
Let's go, quick.
Just hold on, man. I'm going to put some music on to get the party started.
All right, okay.
All right, guys. So.
We can't hear anything, can we, Johnny?
No, I'm like, just
all right, so
He's
Thursday
just popping
night.
away to himself there.
Thursday night, the Power versus the Cats. Who takes this one, guys?
Oh, this is a cracker. This is at Adelaide Oval.
I'm tipping Geelong.
Again, going against us again.
Wow.
Haven't you learnt, Johnny G? Haven't you learnt?
Wow. All right.
No.
Is it
No.
going to be?
I'm tipping Port because I need Port.
Oh, you didn't put.
I'm tipping Port because I need Port to beat Geelong.
Okay. I'm going Port. You can't get off the bandwagon. I think it's going to be a big test. You got Dangerfield. You got a few players coming back for him, so it's not going to be easy. But I think at home it's going to be too strong.
It'll be Port by 50 points. I'm telling you.
50 points. Yeah.
Jeez.
All right. Here we go. You got 10, and then add 1. So I'm going for Port.
Legend. All right. Next game. Lions versus the Swans. It's at the Gabba. I think the Lions don't lose at the Gabba, and Sydney are in HESS form, so Brisbane for me.
Yeah, I concur.
Yep. Brisbane.
All right.
Next.
Giants versus the Dockers.
Giants versus the Dockers.
Where's it played?
This one's in, I think, GWS land, Sydney. So,
I'm going to tip the Purple Haze.
Yeah, I'm going to go Freo. I think they have to win this.
I'm going to go GWS at home.
Yeah.
That was a popular decision, wasn't it?
It was like crickets after.
Silence after that.
GWS to win for the King. So the next one, Wait. KP goes, you're telling us, John, does that mean Geelong will win? I hope not.
And that's it. Go Geelong.
No.
Yeah, Geelong. Secretly, he wants them to win.
Yeah, probably.
No, we're just going to hope for Port to lose the finals, KP. Not just get the Crows.
Don't say that. I hope so. Most people have paid their tips. If you haven't paid,
have you paid Jimmy T?
Tigers versus Saints, guys. This is a 50-50 game, I think. It's at where is it? Is it at Marvel or is it MCG?
If it's Richmond's home game, it'll be at the MCG.
Tigers for me. They get a big one here.
Well, I think Tigers will continue their form, and Tigers for me too.
Tigers for me too. I agree. But
if St Kilda do win, I think they're gonna. That's their game that they're gonna stay in the finals. I think. So yep. Big game. That's a huge game, that one. All right, next game. Your Blue Baggers are playing the Suns. I think this is at Marvel Stadium. I think the Suns are going to be too good for Carlton. I just think they're going to be too good.
No, I think it's at the MCG.
Oh, is it?
I think.
I'll tell you.
Can you just have a check of that?
I'll tell you. It is at the MCG. You're right. Sunday afternoon.
There you go. Far out. I've learned a bit since I've been in Melbourne.
I think through all the blood, sweat, and tears of Carlton, they're gonna pull a rabbit out of the hat here, and they're gonna get a win.
No, I'm never tipping Carlton again this year. Let's see, I'm done.
I'm gonna go the Gold Coast as well.
I'm done.
I think the pain will continue for the Carlton supporters for the next 2 weeks.
I'm done. Go the Suns.
That's funny.
All right. The Roos versus the Dogs. This is the last game of the round because there's a few buys. I'm going to go the Dogs should bounce back.
Yeah, the Dogs.
This is at Marvel. So yeah, I think the Dogs will win comfortably.
No, you never know. North can.
Norfolk, yes.
North can be called an upset. Who knows? But I think Bulldogs.
They could. Tip them if you think so.
No.
like I did.
Guys,
come on, Johnny G. Tip North again. You got to get one.
It's been a great show. It's been a great show, guys. Thank you so much for coming. Make sure if you're brand new to the show, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Quickly to the chat. Wanganeen with 20. He thinks Johnny G injury timeout. Did John help with that logo? No, he did not. Chunky paid? No, he hasn't. Dan back on the button. You're telling us that John, we said that one. Has everyone paid the tips? Who knows? Not tipping North again. GG23. Don't ever tip North again. You're a nice guy. Guys, don't forget to check all our merchandise out. hfdmerch.myspreadshop.com.au for all your HFD merch. Guys, good luck to your teams on the weekend. I know that the Crows are not playing, so it's going to be a bit of a, quiet one for Tony G, so you can relax, don't have to worry. But
win, we can't lose.
But I'll be at the game on, on Thursday night. So yeah, I can't wait for that. Tomorrow night we are doing a podcast. It's going to be on numerology, guys. Hasn't been scheduled yet, but I will schedule it soon. So make sure it's going to be me and KP in the studio. So make sure you guys tune in for that one, guys. It's going to be a good night, and a lot of watch-alongs coming up this weekend. A lot of stuff happening, gaming, everything happening. So make sure you guys subscribe and hit the notification. Any final words, guys? Any final words before we get out of here?
Friday night gaming night.
And be good to your mothers.
Be good to your mothers.
Stay hunky.
Stay hunky,
go
guys.
Go the Roosters.
Go to Power. Good luck to Carlton, and enjoy the time off, Johnny G.
Thank you. What time off?
Have a good time off.
Your team's not playing, eh?
Oh, yes, I can relax. I don't have to stress.
Yeah, no, not you, not you, GG, your team. Yeah.
Thanks for everyone coming into the chat. We'll see you tomorrow night. Peace out. And we'll see you tomorrow.
Take it easy.
Stay hunky. Stay hunky, guys.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Stay hunky.